Made video awesome sauce for you. Try our multi-streaming video editor, recording, and video hosting served in one place. Shaken, not stirred. Use video to grow your business, gain visibility, and broaden your reach. With Wave.Video live streaming, you can effortlessly broadcast to multiple channels at once to reach as many viewers as possible. Easily invite up to 12 guests to your stream and bring them on screen all together. Plan the streaming flow. Make your live streams look unique with stylish, customizable layouts and overlays. Create your own scene layouts. Drag, drop, and move on-screen elements and cameras. Jazz up your stream with sound effects and music that you can upload from your computer or select from Wave.Video amazing stock library. Broadcast from several cameras and easily switch between them to bring a different angle to your stream. What makes Wave.Video live streaming even more special is that you can plan the flow of your live show in advance. Prepare the screen shares and content that you want to demonstrate before the show starts and bring them on screen when the time comes, quickly and hassle-free. Take advantage of custom scenes and smooth scene transitions. And that's not all. Use our pre-designed editable templates and create a consistent and recognizable look for your live streams. Countdowns, lower thirds, thumbnails, intros, and more. We got everything you need for professional streaming. After your live show ends, the recording of it will be saved so that you can promote it even further. Use Wave.Video editor to cut out the best parts of your show, add captions and CTA, resize it to multiple formats, and post short-form videos across your social media channels to attract a new audience. To bring even more exposure to your video, turn it into a podcast. Share it everywhere. Educate, engage, and entertain your audience with Wave.Video, the platform that makes professional live streaming and video editing accessible to everyone. Sign up now.
Every day, you face a great deal of uncertainty. But one thing remains the same. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we include Disney Plus with your unlimited plan. And plans start at just $35 per line.
How about that?
Your body benefits from movement, but your mind benefits from stillness. Practice uniting the two with a free trial at glow.com. Discover new flavors, explore new places, while sharing unique moments with those you love most. Enhance your experience wherever you are with San Pellegrino, a new kind of nutrition for a new kind of active. Vega, helping you to be better every day. Our communities are stronger when we join together. We can serve all of our neighbors experiencing hunger by just one act of kindness at a time. Find a local food bank near you at feedingamerica.org. They say laughter is the best medicine.
Can't go to school ever again.
Of course, actual medicine is the best medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Liz, and I am so excited to be a sponsor and a speaker for 100 Days Lives with Sonya from our coaching universe. So please join me and many other experts as we share our tips and strategies for how you can scale your business, how you can improve your productivity, improve your finances, wealth, and many, many, many other topics. So I personally will be sharing some of my latest research, which shows how you can actually get more done in less time so that you have extra time to do what you want to do, not just what you have to do. So very simple, very powerful tips that I will be sharing with you that I actually use as part of my coaching with many, many successful business people from all around the world. So I am really honored and can't wait to be part of 100 Days Live with Sonya. Please register in details in the comments below. And I can't wait to see you then. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn stuff. And it's going to be amazing 100 days live with Sonya. Register now and we will see you there. Bye.
Hello, Annie Gibbons here, CEO of the Women's Biz Tribe, and I am so thrilled to be a sponsor of 100 Days with Sonya for our coaching universe. Sonya puts out such an amazing event every year, and it gives the opportunity for people to realize the value of online streaming for their businesses. And I look forward to also being a speaker, sharing how my journey with the Women's Biz Tribe has grown so significantly by the use and engagement of online streaming. So it's a great joy to be a sponsor this year, and I also look forward to sharing with you on my episode with Sonya.
Well, hello, friend. I'm so glad to let you know that I'll be sponsoring and speaking on the 100 Days Live Summit with Sonya. It's July 1st through October 9th, 100 days of success coaches, empowerment experts, entrepreneurs, marketing mentors. I'll be speaking on the lessons I learned from interviewing 200 creative practitioners all over the world, how to build their brands, how to stay resilient, how to make collaborations, and how to gain the confidence and connections to launch their work out into the world. You won't want to miss it. And of course, in addition to just my small talk, imagine 99 more experts every day for 100 days. So join me for 100 days live with Sonya. The link is in the notes. See you soon.
Hello universe, hello world, how are you today? So welcome back to 100 Days Live with Sonya, and we are already on day 59 of 100 days. And yes, Joy Kariti said you are the halfway there. Congrats sister, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the love and comments. Also Dr. Melanie Falfe, and then also Saint Douglas, Chadila Peterson, who doesn't know him, of course. Karin Green, lovely lady from Wave team, and then also Tristan John Griffiths and Kathy Gentry Fox from Ecam. So yes, tonight we have a very special guest while we are waiting for him. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He's a very special guest tonight actually, and I'm a bit nervous to have him and while waiting for him in the studio. So last year I interviewed a special guest also on the same team, and he was Dave Jackson, and I was very nervous. I think, oh my god, I'm going to interview someone who is really really famous. You know, he is the wall of fame podcaster. And then today we are going to interview the boss also. So the boss is here. Let's wait for him. And if you are here, please say hi. Put the comments here, and then also if you haven't registered to our event, please do it. You can register for free or also upgrade into VIP to this link, okay? To our coachinguniverse.anitasonya.com, our coachinguniverse.anitasonya.com, and then thank you for all of the sponsors who have been supporting us and make this event this tremendous successful in my opinion, because without you all then maybe I cannot make this event to be this spectacular. I mean, you know, there are so many uh what is it not so many beautiful guest expert speakers, but they are also wonderful people, you know, when I know them in person. And of course I will expect them to come to Bali next year. And yes, I have already announced that we are going to have the registration open for Bali event in September on the 20th. Actually, that is my birthday. So What should I do now? I'm a bit nervous. Please help me because the guest is here. Our special distinguished guest is here. The boss is here. Oh my God, what did I dream last night that he is here now? Oh, I'm sweating. Let me put the air conditioner cooling down again. It's been on the lowest temperature. Actually, let me invite him on the screen. Okay. Oh my God, Rob, hi, how are you? Welcome to 100 Days with Sonya. It's an honor to have you here, really. I'm a bit nervous. It's too hot now.
It's great to be here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I didn't know what I dreamed of last night, so you were here. Yes, if you haven't known Rob Greenlee, then you have to be on 100 Days Live with Sonya. It's very famous. And yes, he's the boss, he's the vice president of content and partnership and Lipsin. Thank you so much for being here. So no, I'm nervous. I lost my
We're having too much fun over here.
I think so because you are here. There are so many questions I would like to ask you. I watched you on YouTube that night when you were on the podcast movement in Dallas, Texas, right? And but it was very short. Also because it was my midnight here actually, Rob. So I don't know. There are so many questions in my head now, and then I would like to ask you, and I hope you don't mind me because this is our first time. Really, thank you so much for being here once more. I feel very honored to have you here. You see, I'm very nervous now. So yes, how was the event in Dallas, Texas? And I believe that Lipsyn become one of the sponsors also again on the
Yeah.
podcast movement, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations and thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, it was a fantastic event. I mean, I enjoyed it a
Mhm.
lot as usual. I've been to every one of the podcast movement events since it started.
Mhm.
So it's great to see the industry kind of growing up and developing and really, I think having an impact on the podcasting space. You know, it continues to grow and develop. So I always
Mhm.
enjoyed going, and it's almost like a reunion for me for
Yeah, for podcasters, for live
yeah,
streamers.
but it's
That's
also
correct.
a lot of new people
Mhm.
going to the event too. So there's always a stream of new people to meet and new people to
Mhm.
network with, and which has always been the case. I mean, the podcasting has always attracted a new group of people every year.
Mm. Yeah, and thank you for inviting me. But I'm in Bali, so you would like to meet us, to meet there, and then I say I'm in Bali. I would love to meet you there, of course, or maybe you can come to Bali next year, right, to my
Yeah, that'd
event.
be
And
awesome.
I believe that will be much more than reunion. There will be party also. There will be tours also. So it is not just a 3 days conference, but also like 1 week, including with the tours and then dinner together. I'm looking forward for that. But before that, I would like to ask you many questions. Actually, this is like interrogating you. So how is the progress of podcast nowadays? And then how did you start it? That you become the vice president of lifting, and then you have been working with very famous companies that I have already checked your what is it your bio, right?
Mhm.
You were on Foxnest and also even content at Spreaker also. Oh my God, you were on Spreaker. I used Spreaker actually before,
Yeah.
and then yeah, Zoom Marketplace, Export, so many famous companies. So how did you start your journey on this digital career?
Well, I started like a lot of podcasters start. I
Mm,
started making content back
mhm,
in 1999. I walked into a radio station is where I kind of originally started, and then
mhm.
started making content. I had a show called
Yes.
the Web Talk World Radio Show is what it was
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, and we talked about the growth and development of the World Wide Web and the internet, and followed its trends and its quirks and its exciting developments. And it was kind of, a show where we covered what the future of all of our online experiences that we take for granted today was going to develop into. Because when I started doing that show, the online world was still kind of beginning. So it was kind of a new thing for a lot of people. And so I did that show for about 6 years or so,
Wow.
and built the distribution of it on radio and satellite radio, and then started streaming it online, and started making an MP3 file available of the show. So that's kind of how I got into it. Was back in 2004 is when podcasting started. Yeah, even though I started in 1999, kind of doing a lot of this.
I didn't know where I was at that time. Yes, I was on radio also, but as a guest speaker, not as a host, at that time. Even with the national motivators, national, how do you call it, public speaking instructor also at that time. So I was a kind of a guest speaker also. So it's been a long journey, Rob.
Yeah, it has, and I just have gone from one opportunity to another over the years, but all through those years, it was really about working with the medium at a high level and helping other people to podcast and to get shows into whatever platform that I was working on, to get them distributed and reaching listeners. And I would speak at conferences and events, and it's what I continue to do today. Even back when I was working for Xbox and doing that was the same activities that I did even back then, was just be kind of a representative of the company that I was with, and then really offering help and support to content creators at all levels, from the biggest media companies in the world to individuals that wanted to start a show. And that's really the values and the culture of online content creation more generally. It's open to everyone, and that's what's great about podcasting using RSS, and even places like YouTube and other places like that. You can do like what you're doing here with this program. It really empowers people to have a voice.
And it exploded during the pandemic, because just like me in here, in this kind of developing country where people do not aware yet of the online world, right? And we still have to go to work to make money. But now more and more people are into live streaming and podcasting also, to market their program and their courses, for example. But then how is the progress of podcast actually? Because now live streaming is also here. I know that podcast is more, what is it? It is easier to gain the listeners also, because we can do it anywhere. Even when I am on the gym, for example, then we don't need to watch the video. But I am on the live streaming program, so to not say that podcasting is much more better. But if you have to choose between podcasting and also live streaming, which one do you prefer?
Well,
despite of your position as vice president on the podcast.
Well, I have to be honest.
platform,
I've become more favorable to doing things live, and one of the things of that, and then have them be recorded, and then they can be put out as a podcast. I mean, you can certainly do some editing afterwards and things like that, but I really enjoy the live aspect, kind of like what you're doing here. It's more
thank you.
spontaneous. It really connects with audiences in the real world, and it's in real time. So, and I think it does make you a better podcaster to do this kind of content, because you really have to be kind of like sharp on your feet and of mouth, to make it
Mm-hmm.
work well and have it be a great experience for the viewer or the or the listener. I did a lot of
Mm-hmm.
live audio back when I was working for Spreaker, and then obviously if you go back and you look at the radio days, that I mean,
Yes.
for many years that was live radio. Though I did go through a phase where I pre-produced everything,
Mm-hmm.
and then put it out on radio as though it was live. And I found that to be an advantage to some degree too. But tapping into that kind of, there's a program at a time and a day,
Mm-hmm.
and that stuff was always an attractive thing, and it continues to be for me. And the show you see behind me up here, the
Yes.
new media show, is a show that I do live just like this, and it's also put out as an audio and
Full
video
gear, full
podcast.
equipment. Yes.
Right.
And
Right.
then yeah, it is very interesting with your explanation about live streaming also. Well, I watched you in a glance also on the podcast movement, right?
Mhm.
My question next is how is actually YouTube? Because you mentioned also that you are doing the research. I don't know if it was you or someone else who do the research about the difference between podcaster and also live streamers, and then how to differ the YouTube podcast and just like the other videos.
Yeah, I think if you're trying to figure out the whole landscape around podcasting in regards to video, and more
Mm-hmm.
specifically YouTube, I would say
Mm-hmm.
right now, as has been for many years, a video is a big part of podcasting, and it really always has been.
Mm-hmm.
Even going back to the early days of when this medium started back in 2004 to like
Oh yeah, me
2009 or
too.
so, um, there was a thing called video podcasting, and
Mm-hmm.
that is actually, it's the same thing as what people think of now, podcasting with an audio file. So really
Mm-hmm.
the only distinction is that there's a a a media file that's being downloaded, where most people think of an MP3 file. Well, you can create an RSS feed with a download of an MP4 file, which is a video file.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there are still many podcast listening and viewing platforms that are out there that you can
Mm-hmm.
still do that today. The new media show is a video podcast as well, so you can subscribe to it or follow it in Apple and get the
Mm-hmm.
video of the show as well. So so I do think that there's a lot of perception going on, that a lot of what's
Between the
going
videos.
on
Yes.
on YouTube are podcasts, where the data doesn't really show that there's as many podcasts on YouTube as people think
Mhm.
there is, because there's many shows on YouTube that are doing like what we're doing here. They're either doing it live, or and those shows are recorded in the platform, and then people can
Mhm.
watch them later, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they've taken that show that they've done on YouTube and put it out as an RSS feed. So what we'd like
True.
to see in the podcasting space is more crossover there, where shows are doing their shows live on YouTube, or they're pre-recording and then uploading to YouTube, and then taking the audio out of that and putting it out as a RSS based um, podcast, or
Yes.
video podcast. So that crossover has been a little slow to develop, and
Mhm.
part of that is just, it's an education thing, but a lot of the research is starting to show that one of the key places people are discovering podcasts is on YouTube. But I think it's more of a perception that they're discovering podcasts over there. But it's also a change that's happening around people's perception of what a podcast is. And
Yeah.
really, you could say that this is a podcast, what we're doing here,
Mhm.
but it may only be available on YouTube.
On YouTube. Oh,
Right.
I see.
But
Okay,
it,
then I got it now. But
it
it is what I'm going to do also, like because I'm going to filter this or download this into sound, right? So that it will be podcast, and also with the Trello into the blogging, or and also to ebook, so it
yep.
can be our souvenir in Bali next time. The ebook of the live streaming and podcasting starts like that in a book. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm looking forward for it. And then, so what do you define podcast actually? In your own opinion, what is podcast?
Well, I think there's two audiences for this. I think that there's the listener and the viewer, and then there's the creator. And I think the distinction between the two is only important to the creator, because they need to know how to distribute that show, or where they need to go to make it.
Mm-hmm.
But the listener doesn't really care, right? If it looks like a podcast, sounds like a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
they can listen to it on YouTube, or watch it depending on what they want to do. Then it's a
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So it my there's a lot of people in the podcasting space that will give you a strict definition. It has to be an RSS based
Yeah.
distribution to Apple Podcasts as the
Mm-hmm.
definition of a podcast. And I mean, you can't disagree with that, because that's where this all started. And that's where the medium that's where it got its name, was from that. Um, but really, also at the end of the day, the podcaster really just cares about reaching an audience. And if that means that audience can be found at YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
then the perception of the audience on Y- YouTube is what it's going to be. I mean, I can't
Mm-hmm.
tell somebody that what they watched on YouTube isn't a podcast when they truly, think it is, because it looks like it, sounds like it.
But
um,
it's not.
yeah, well, I mean, it's not technical, so it's a technical definition more than it is or a
Mm-hmm.
technical distinction that is really
Mm-hmm.
not very important.
Mm-hmm.
But it is important to the content creator, because if they want to be a podcast, they need to choose, right? Or they need to do
Mm-hmm.
both, and it's
Yes.
a content choice that has to be decided on. There's opportunity in being an audio podcaster, that may be larger than what their opportunity is on YouTube. So it's also about opportunity too, and reach.
Enrich, yes. And then, do you agree that we really need to research before podcasting? Because I did it once and then I stopped because I prefer to live stream.
Yeah.
This is because the reason is because I don't need to edit it. You see, then if we are on podcast, it seems that now there are so many statues, there are so many complaints in the groups of coaches, consultants, and also mentors, that they have to edit a lot, and then even they have to hire someone else, the virtual assistant, also to edit the podcast. Is it that complicated to do the podcast? And also before reaching so many listeners, right? And then it seems that you really have to spend a lot of money for podcasting nowadays.
No, you really don't. I mean, I would say that it's probably less expensive now to do a podcast than it was when I first started. So,
Oh,
um, and that's simply because the cost of high quality microphones have gone down
mm-hmm,
dramatically.
mm-hmm.
The cost of audio equipment and the advancements of those tools, like mixers and like
Yeah,
the Rodecaster Pro is very capable of doing a lot of stuff, but you don't have to start with that kind of
progressive.
device. I mean, you can just get
Mm-hmm.
a simple $59 two-channel mixer or something like that, and a lot of people just use a USB microphone, and
Yeah, but
those can
Shure
be,
has the USB microphone also now, and
yeah,
I don't think that is expensive. Only
no,
because I still move as a digital nomad here, so I
yep.
haven't got it. One.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the audio editing and recording software, there's Audacity out there that's free.
Mhm.
So
Oh
really,
yeah, Audacity.
yeah, so you
I
can
know
really,
about Audacity from Joe Pardo.
Yeah, so you can actually get started for less than $100. But that may go up if you want to build your own website and you want to hire somebody to help you do that, or you go to a platform like Squarespace that has tools that you can create a website very, very low cost. So, but yeah, I mean, I think the entry point for getting into podcasts, I think where the expense in podcasting is really actually making the content, and the time and effort and commitment that it takes to actually
To
create
create that
a show
content.
that people want to listen to. And
Yeah,
that's,
I agree.
yeah, that's the real challenge in podcasting. I think getting the show set up and getting all that stuff is fairly straightforward and simple now, because a lot of technology companies have really worked hard to make it as easy as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then I would like to say hi to Stuart Buchan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, it's wet and windy here in Bonnie, Scotland. It's hot here in my studio, even though I put my air conditioner because the boss is here. Stuart, I have to be sweet so that he will sponsor me next. So talking about what is it? Podcast platform. What is actually the vision and mission of Lipsync to help the content creators, especially podcasts?
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly straightforward. We started back in 2004, so we were the very
Mm-hmm.
first podcast kind of services
Mm-hmm.
hosting platform that ever existed in the medium, and
Mm-hmm.
and so we offer tools
Wow,
to empower,
2005.
like I was just mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
offering tools to create a podcast that are
Mm-hmm.
simple to use but yet powerful, to get you out to all the listening platforms, to get you an RSS feed that is
Mm-hmm.
capable of
People.
and also reliable too. That when you post your episodes up there, that the servers that we use are capable of consistently delivering your file
Yeah.
to listeners. And for many years
Until
we
100 destination, I
right.
watch, right? Wow.
Well, it's
So,
there's certainly a lot of places that are now taking podcasts, and
mm-hmm.
and we were the platform that Joe Rogan built his show on, which
Mm-hmm.
is the largest podcast in the world, and that was before he moved to Spotify. But
Mm-hmm.
that just proves that the platform of Libsyn is very capable of supporting any size or scale of podcaster. And then more
Mm-hmm.
recently, we've added the ability to help the shows, even shows that are not hosted on
Mm-hmm.
Libsyn, to monetize and to offer premium subscription or to connect up with advertisers. And we just announced kind of support for our
With the donation also or something like that,
well,
like
yeah, I mean, you can always work with like a Patreon or a PayPal
yeah,
or those kind of
Patreon
things for
or
those
something.
type of
Mm,
functionalities. And we do have a product called Glow, which basically creates a subscription,
mm, mm,
a paid subscription to the content as well. And we just announced support for a programmatic ad platform
mhm,
that will be a companion to the Advertise Cast
mhm,
service that is now part of Libsyn as well. So that kind of gives a full suite of ways that people can earn some income from
mhm.
podcasting, and so that's kind of what, if you really kind of summarize it, that's what Libsyn is all about, is helping podcasters to podcast.
That's true. That's true. But then also there are so many platforms today to do the
Yeah.
podcast, right? And then how do you manage or you work with your team to stand out among the crowds? Because There are so many. I know that live stream is not that expensive, but for us in US dollar, we still need to consider it. So what is the best solution for that?
Well, I think it depends on your needs, and it also
Mm,
depends on the confidence that you have in the company that you are working with. Are they going to
mm,
be reliable? Are they going to offer good bandwidth to deliver your
mm,
media file to listeners? I don't think that a lot of
mm,
people think about that. A company that's hosted like a Joe Rogan that has had probably 4 or 5 billion downloads in his podcasting life, has had success on our platform, and I think that is a big factor here. And then just the maturity of the tools and the team,
mhm,
the knowledge of the team, and the years' experience of podcasting.
mm,
Like myself, I mean, I've been involved in podcasting for over 18 years. I think getting close to 19 years now here in September. So, it's just having somebody that you can call that actually can help you succeed in this medium, because it is getting more challenging to build and grow an audience. So you really have to have the latest and greatest kind of tips and tricks and things like that on how to actually accomplish that.
Yeah, that's why you also get involved in Podcast Academy also to
Right.
help people to grow their podcast and then to start their podcast, of course. About Joe Rogan, I remember that at that time Dave Jackson put on his status about the controversy statement at that time, and
Hmm.
I disagree with it, but then it made him really really famous. Now it made him really really big. What do you think about such kind of a kind of clickbait, I say also, because it is like a controversy statement, but actually it was true. Only if you get only that one statement, of course you disagree with it. But if you listen to the whole sequence of the podcast, then you can agree with it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the key, is that this is a platform. Podcasting is a
Mm,
method of getting out lots of different voices and perspectives and
mhm,
ideas, and as far as I'm concerned, that is the core value that podcasting brings to the world, is a platform of diverse voices and
mhm,
uh, a representation of all races and ethnicities, and opportunity to connect with communities
mhm,
because being a niche medium like this, where you can start a show like this one that is kind of focused
mhm,
on content creators and live content creators, is definitely something that's been very successful, and it's changing the world. And the reach
mhm.
of these podcasters is is amazing now. I mean, it's on a global scale, just like you're a
Yes,
terrific example of this, and
thank
and
you.
how yeah, and how podcasting is a global thing now. I mean, I got invited to speak at conferences in Saudi
Mhm.
Arabia and in Africa, and
Yes,
Asia is popping up with more podcasting conferences, and Canada and Mexico and
yeah.
South America, and just all over the world now. I mean, it used
Yes,
to
I
be that
agree.
yeah, it used to be that podcasting was primarily a North American phenomenon, but
Yes, yes, yes.
now things have changed. I went to I would say the world's largest podcasting conference in the UK here just a couple months ago.
Hmm. I didn't know
In
that. I thought it is in US that the podcast has.
Yeah, well, the
So,
the podcast show in London
mm,
had
mm,
about 2,500 people over. I mean, each day for a 2-day conference,
mm, mm.
which is as big
Wow.
as the larger podcasting conferences in the US. So that was
Mm,
just the first year for it. And then the podcasting conference is being talked about in Saudi Arabia is going to have 15,000 people at it. So at least that's what they're projecting.
Yes.
Yeah, but so it's and then across Europe and in some of the biggest countries in podcasting is kind of like per capita listenership, like Canada and Norway and Sweden. Just huge amounts of that population are listening to podcasts. So it's
And what
just
about lip
amazing.
sync? Which country that dominate the most? I mean, the lip sync users. Where are they from?
Yeah, I would say
From the
most.
statistic, I mean.
Right. I would say most podcast hosting platforms, and Libsyn is certainly part of this, have most of their content creators coming out of the United States. But that is rapidly changing and evolving. And so, it's hard to, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of growth in the country of India as well right now.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
And if you think about the population of India, there could be a lot of
I know.
podcasters.
And our country maybe next because
Yeah,
we
right.
are the fifth in the whole world, right? That's why.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the event next year because this will be my first international event. Of course, I attended some international events before, but I also held the national events before. So I'm very excited but nervous at the same time, Rob. So I hope it will be amazing. And then
Oh, it is.
oh, thank you so much. Oh,
Yeah.
I need that. Thank you for the encouragement, actually.
Oh,
And
of
then,
course, of
uh,
course. I want to
because
support
yeah,
you as a content creator. You're putting forth a lot
oh,
of positive energy
thank
out
you.
there,
Oh,
and right.
I'm
And
blessing now.
I thank you for committing yourself to doing this. It's not easy to do, and
Thank you
but
so much. Yes,
but
I
you
know.
will feel rewarded from it in ways that sometimes you won't even realize that is happening. So you'll make friends, you'll make connections with your guests, you'll make connections with audience, and that will follow you for the rest of your life. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much. That's true, actually. Yeah, last year I had my first 100 days live with Sonya, and then this year, Larry Roberts challenged me again. You should make 100 days live with Sonya. Come on, Larry. My schedule now is totally different than last year. This year, I really have to work hard on my online program, right? Even my coach also mentioned that I have to launch my course. But yesterday, I had already my first client before launching the course. So, yes, a lot of things going on. And I really thank you for your positive words because of it. Yes. In this 100 days, you see also we have Wave.Video as my sponsor, Livestream Universe, and then voiceovers and forecast. And then these people have been supporting me. And then also Wave knows that I don't have big followers. I don't have big, community. But I thought Wave like, I don't have big community. I don't have big followers, but my guest speakers have them. So it is, that's why Wave is totally different. In my opinion, the team is very friendly. I feel being welcome on Wave also. So
Yeah.
that's why I really feel Wave support me a lot also. And then we have Mark Stinson from Bioscience Bridge, and Dr. Liz has been sponsoring me also. And then also Woman Beast Tribe. So from Annie Gibbons. So some speakers also sponsor me. It means that they would like to continue this program, right? What I mean is like they also would like to provide the platform for other speakers to share their insights and their expertise, and also the people who would like to learn from them, right? So yeah, I agree. This is not easy because it's very easy in front of the camera like this, but the work behind it, it is a lot. You are the vice president, and I know that you are very busy, and but you have time even for me here, and that's I really appreciate.
Yeah, well, thank you for the opportunity. I don't say no to opportunities like this because
Mm,
I've learned over the years that every
mhm,
content creator reaches uh, different people, and
mm,
that's the power of this medium. I mean, even if I connect to just one person here,
mhm,
it's worth it to me. And but more likely than not, the replay of this or
mhm.
this will reach many people. So that's why I do it. And it's also to support you, and it's also to support your efforts
Thank
here
you so much.
and
Thank you
to
so much. But you know how
yeah.
I had to collect my energy, my to be brave to ask you to speak.
Yeah.
You see, even my hands are still cold there, still very nervous. And then, what is the best way in podcasting world that you have been experienced?
So you're asking what's the best thing about podcasting for me?
Yeah, that you have been experienced because everyone has different experience in podcasting.
Yeah.
So what did you get most that is really memorable? Maybe speaking in Saudi Arabia or in the UK or Bali next year. I will ask you the same question next year then.
Well, I think that the thing that I've I've more recently been getting is kind of contacts and friends around the world.
Mm, mm,
I've really enjoyed that. I think that's the biggest thing that I get out of the podcasting space. I mean, I could
mm,
have a job doing a lot of different things, and I have in my life. I've owned restaurants.
mm.
I've
Yeah,
worked
yeah.
for state government. I've worked for major
Wow.
corporations, things like that. But what I really get out of it is meeting new people from
Mm,
from different cultures, from different parts of the world, and feeling like I'm a global citizen, and that I can reach and have a reach into places on this small planet that's surrounded by a very thin atmosphere. That
yes.
there's
Is
so
that on the
many
North Pole
right,
or in the forest?
yeah, and there's so much camaraderie across the whole
Mhm,
podcast ecosystem globally.
mm,
I've talked to podcasters all over the world and am involved with them, helping them or being flying out and going to their conferences or actually
mhm,
meeting content creators all over the world. And there's differences,
mm,
but there's a large amount of commonality of interest and what the goals are of they're trying to do, and a
mm,
common quality in
mhm,
the people that are involved in podcasting, and they're very good people. They like to communicate, they like to help others. That's the values of this medium, and obviously they like to talk and they like to share
mhm.
their thoughts and get those out there. And that's kind of like the core values of this. And I've always kind of valued that. And
Yes.
that's what I want to foster in the world is people's ability to share their thoughts to try and help
Mhm.
make a better world for all of us.
I'm in for that because I say I'm in for that because I know that I read that you were also evangelist before. I say I'm in for that. And then who is your favorite podcaster now? The most favorite one?
Well, my most favorite podcasts are the ones that are
Uh-huh.
done by people that I know personally, and there's
Mm,
there's a lot of them out there, and part of the reason why I say that is because I know so many podcasters, and I
mhm.
I enjoy so many different podcasts. It's hard for me to just point to one or so because it's unfair to all the other ones that I've
If I
heard
ask
that
for
are
one only,
because if I talk about the topics that I have an interest in
yeah, depends
personally,
on.
um, it tends to be more tech tech related podcasts, and
Mm,
then shows that talk about the the latest trends in politics and like I watch a lot of YouTube, and a lot of the shows that I watch are done like this. I mean, are podcasts, but they're on topics that are at the cutting edge of our culture today, and at the cutting edge of our science and technology. I'm an investor in Tesla, and I own a Tesla, so I watch a lot of content about electric cars. I first owned an electric car back in 2011, and I owned a Nissan Leaf back. I think I had one of the first 2,000 Nissan Leafs to ever be made. So I got involved in it very early, and I'm a big supporter of solar as well as electric cars. So those are the
It
type of
wasn't that big
shows.
at that time. I mean, not before Tesla come in, right? I mean, the electric
Right.
cars wasn't that famous, and it was very
No.
expensive at that time.
Yeah. I mean, the Nissan Leaf was about $30,000 back when I bought it, which isn't too bad. But it didn't have a lot of range to it. Like the Tesla that I have now has like 4 times the amount of range that my Nissan Leaf had. So I can drive it further with and have confidence that I'm going to be able to get back again.
Will you bring it to Bali, please? Because I haven't been to Tesla, honestly, and I don't know how it is. But someone from Germany called me, and he was on the car eating hamburgers. Aren't you not driving? It is too dangerous. I told him, no, I have already set the map, and then I will get there. And then I
Right.
can do everything I want to, even on mobile phone, calling you like this. So, oh my God, I need this kind of cars because I cannot drive.
Yeah,
So,
and more of
wow,
these cars drive themselves. So
that's why this is really
it's
amazing. I've
yeah,
been in Audi, I've been on the luxurious cars, but then this is, oh my God, really, really amazing that you don't need to drive, that you can eat your hamburgers and talk to me on the mobile phone, which
right.
is
And the car will
maybe,
just will go through. They'll safely go
yeah,
through the stoplights and the traffic,
the,
crossings and things like
wow,
that very easily. They'll choose how to handle lots of different situations. I mean, you still have to monitor it to
yeah,
make sure
Rob,
that it doesn't make a mistake, but it's
I
amazing
agree.
the
But
tech.
it means that we don't need driving license in the future, right?
Yeah,
Only to
right.
drive a car.
Well, you
That's
may
what
not
I
even
hope.
have a car that actually has a steering wheel on it. It just
Yes,
may just have a screen, right?
yeah, yeah. That's why. So, in the future, I don't know if I experience it, but I hope that I don't need the driving license to have a car or
Right.
to drive somewhere.
That's
And
right.
then,
Just tell the car, I want to go
mhm,
there, and it will go.
mhm. Buying chocolate cake, and then
Right.
they
I
will
want
they
ice
will
cream.
just
Take me to get ice
wow.
cream.
No, please don't tease me like that. Ice cream is my favorite. That's why I'm going to have ice cream also on my conference in Bali.
Right.
That is the best thing that we have. And yeah, about back to podcasts again. Oh my God, it is interesting to talk about other things like this also.
Yeah.
And then about podcasting, what do you think about the future of podcasting?
I think it's gonna continue expanding on a
Mm,
global scale. I'm already seeing areas of Canada have more adoption of podcasting as a per capita
mm,
consumption as the U.S.
mm,
And you're seeing podcasts expand in Germany and Spain and South America and all that stuff. I think it's just going to be a continuation of expansion and
mm,
them adding more content creators and more listeners and I think that the growth of this medium is going to be more outside of the U.S. than in the U.S.
mm,
I think we've reached a little bit of a saturation point in the U.S. Of
mm,
because it's been around a long time here. Where in a
mm.
lot of places around the world, it's still new, right? So, and there's still a lot
I
of people
agree.
that still don't know about it and still haven't found their show, right? That they want to listen to yet. Where here in the U.S., we're blessed with a huge amount of choice ways that you can make a podcast and publish a podcast, and then so many different ways of listening and watching. And I think over time, video is going to become even more important in podcasting, and I do believe that audiences are going to increasingly watch more podcasts as video programs like this. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so big hopes for me also to have into podcast. And then, yeah, I know time run very fast. I think 1 hour is not enough with you, but then I know that you are busy also. And then, what kind of content there will be a trend in the podcasting? Is it about the gears like you mentioned before, or is it about politics or any other content, maybe even cooking or
It's going to be all those things. It's going to be everything
Oh,
that a person can imagine and think of will
okay.
be in the podcasting space. And
Mhm,
as the tools get better, and the ability of podcasting to connect to listeners and to create a
mhm,
conversation with listeners, I think
mhm,
we will continue to expand. Not unlike what we've seen happen on YouTube is
mhm,
the expansion of topics. I
mhm,
did hear discussion when I was in Sweden,
mhm.
that Spotify is going to start working on sitcoms in podcasting.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the situational comedy type of content,
Mhm,
audio. So it's just a form of kind of fictional
mhm,
storytelling, which I think is a genre of podcasting that's picking up steam right now.
mhm,
So there's more, if you think about television or film, that's all
mhm,
fictional content usually. I mean, unless it's a
mhm,
documentary or something like that, which I believe we'll see that more and more happen in podcasting too, where you have a documentary series.
mhm, mhm,
For years we've had true crime and
mhm.
kind of more of a reality based content. That will continue to be the dominant type of content that we see in podcasting is the reality stuff. Like
The
this
reality
is
stuff. So it's
this
like a
is
news also.
right. I mean, what we're doing here is reality content. I mean, it's happening
Mm,
now. It's live. It's us
mm,
talking about real things in the real world, but
yeah.
yet the other side of the content creation ecosystem is telling stories that are fictional or made up, to try and create an experience for listeners or
Mhm,
viewers. More and more of that will be seen as
mhm.
a podcast as well.
Wow, that is really, really interesting. Okay, I promise two more questions. Is that okay? Only two, please.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, how is your best strategy? Actually, this is a bit personal also, or maybe confidential for your company. So, what is the best strategy to face your competitors nowadays?
To face your competitors,
Yeah.
I think the best strategy um, for competing in the marketplace now is to just
Mhm,
have being able to bring new things and new
mhm,
capabilities to whatever market that you're in, and to actually uh, and also be a better helper of people, and your capabilities of servicing people's needs at a social level and a skill level too, to help
mhm,
people succeed. I think is really key nowadays. I mean, I started down this path with the internet and the web as seeing as a content marketing tool, and I do believe that it continues to be that. But more and more, it's a tool for building relationships and trust, and helping uh, people all over the world to reach the goals that they have, whatever it is. It can be anything, but it's really that. I think that's how you compete these days is by building trust and relationships. One of the biggest things that's in short supply right now in the world is trust. And so if you can foster that in your ability to connect to others and to communicate and to share ideas, your business is going to do well.
Wow, thank you so much for that kind of message. We really need to hear right now. And then, okay, last question. What is the best way to monetize our podcast and live streaming?
I think it depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, I think that
Oh,
there's a lot of choices out there on how you can proceed in monetizing. But fundamentally, you typically have to build a community and build an audience
mhm, mhm.
before you can really turn on that kind of capability, unless you
Yeah.
want to have your sponsors be a company or people that you have a
Mhm,
prior relationship with, let's
mhm,
say on the web, or you're selling a product or a service or something like
mhm,
that is part of your business, right? Then you
mhm,
can start from day one using these online kind of media tools to market and further the customer base and support of those
mhm,
communities. But once you've built an audience, and it takes a little bit of time, and it takes commitment,
mhm.
and it takes consistency,
And
and
how long is it? Another
right.
question.
I mean, it can take a few months, or it can take a couple of
Mm,
years before you get to a point
oh,
where you can
okay.
really effectively monetize at a scale that's really
Mhm,
impactful. I mean,
mhm.
sure, you can monetize today and make a couple of dollars, but it's not going to be impactful
But it won't
until
be
you've
until
built.
11 years, right? Like you
Right.
until you know that you join a big firm. I mean, big companies, and also to be
Yeah.
famous like you.
Yeah, and I think you can start a niche program that
Mm,
has the ability to reach, let's say, a local business, or
mhm,
a business that has a common interest in the listener that you garner with your content. So let's say you're doing a podcast on mowing grass. There's going to be a company out there
we
that's
don't have a lot
mowing.
of grass here,
Right.
unless for for the cows.
So it's using that podcast
uh,
as a
uh,
tool to reach potential
mm,
customers and to reach people and help educate them, and use that content as a method of building trust that then can be converted into a customer. I think
mhm.
is the best way to use these tools.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here today, really. And then, do you have any message for 100 days, or for our people who are going to watch later, and then also maybe for me myself, Rob?
Yeah, my only advice, I think, is to just think of the topics that you have passion for. And I know I say this on a lot of podcasts that I've been on, but um, podcasting is about passion, and what you enjoy talking about, and what you enjoy um, sharing with others and helping others with, is really the backbone of this medium. And then um, sharing it in a way that helps people, um, you know, basically improve their lives and their economic opportunities, is a powerful thing to do. And if you can build trust along those ways by helping people to achieve what they
Mhm.
want to achieve in their lives, that goes a long ways.
Oh, thank you so much for the message and also all of your time today. I feel really honored again once more. Thank you so much for being here, Rob. And you are always welcome on my shows, okay?
All right. Well, thank
So
you so much, Anita. I appreciate your efforts here and your time, and I appreciate you having me on your show. Yeah.
thank you so much. And then I'll see you soon. I will talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guest, our special guest, the Vice President of Content and Partnership at Lipsync, Rob Greenlee. So I hope that you enjoy the show today, and do not forget to put the hashtag our live streaming replay. Our live streaming replay is you watch the replay, and then tomorrow we are going to be with another guest expert speakers, and I love you all. And do not forget to be nice to each other, share the love everywhere. And yeah, it's 9 p.m. today in Bali, and I will see you next soon. And don't forget to share this show to everyone else. And then if you haven't registered yet, do not forget to register. I will show you the link again, our coachinguniverse.anitasonya.com, our coachinguniverse.anitasonya.com, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Made video awesome sauce for you. Try our multi-streaming video editor, recording, and video hosting served in one place. Shaken, not stirred. Use video to grow your business, gain visibility, and broaden your reach. With Wave.Video live streaming, you can effortlessly broadcast to multiple channels at once to reach as many viewers as possible. Easily invite up to 12 guests to your stream and bring them on screen all together. Plan the streaming flow. Make your live streams look unique with stylish, customizable layouts and overlays. Create your own scene layouts. Drag, drop, and move on-screen elements and cameras. Jazz up your stream with sound effects and music that you can upload from your computer or select from Wave.Video amazing stock library. Broadcast from several cameras and easily switch between them to bring a different angle to your stream. What makes Wave.Video live streaming even more special is that you can plan the flow of your live show in advance. Prepare the screen shares and content that you want to demonstrate before the show starts and bring them on screen when the time comes, quickly and hassle-free. Take advantage of custom scenes and smooth scene transitions. And that's not all. Use our pre-designed editable templates and create a consistent and recognizable look for your live streams. Countdowns, lower thirds, thumbnails, intros, and more. We got everything you need for professional streaming. After your live show ends, the recording of it will be saved so that you can promote it even further. Use Wave.Video editor to cut out the best parts of your show, add captions and CTA, resize it to multiple formats, and post short-form videos across your social media channels to attract a new audience. To bring even more exposure to your video, turn it into a podcast. Share it everywhere. Educate, engage, and entertain your audience with Wave.Video, the platform that makes professional live streaming and video editing accessible to everyone. Sign up now.
Every day, you face a great deal of uncertainty. But one thing remains the same. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Verizon knows there's no better way to stream your Disney favorites than on America's most reliable network. That's why we include Disney Plus with your unlimited plan. And plans start at just $35 per line.
How about that?
Your body benefits from movement, but your mind benefits from stillness. Practice uniting the two with a free trial at glow.com. Discover new flavors, explore new places, while sharing unique moments with those you love most. Enhance your experience wherever you are with San Pellegrino, a new kind of nutrition for a new kind of active. Vega, helping you to be better every day. Our communities are stronger when we join together. We can serve all of our neighbors experiencing hunger by just one act of kindness at a time. Find a local food bank near you at feedingamerica.org. They say laughter is the best medicine.
Can't go to school ever again.
Of course, actual medicine is the best medicine.
Hello, Annie Gibbons here, CEO of the Women's Biz Tribe, and I am so thrilled to be a sponsor of 100 Days with Sonya for our coaching universe. Sonya puts out such an amazing event every year, and it gives the opportunity for people to realize the value of online streaming for their businesses. And I look forward to also being a speaker, sharing how my journey with the Women's Biz Tribe has has grown so significantly by the use and engagement of online streaming. So it's a great joy to be a sponsor this year, and I also look forward to sharing with you on my episode with Sonya.
Hi, I'm Dr. Liz, and I am so excited to be a sponsor. I'm Dr.
and
Liz,
speaker
and I am
for
so
100
excited
Days Lives
to be a
with Sonya
sponsor
and
from
speaker
our coaching
for
universe.
100 Days
So please
Lives
join me
with Sonya
and many
from
other
our
experts
coaching
as
universe.
we share our
So
tips
please join
and
me
strategies
and many other
for how you can
experts
scale your
as we
business,
share our tips
how you can
and
strategies
improve your productivity,
for how you can scale
improve your
business,
finances,
how you
wealth,
can
and
improve your
many,
productivity,
many other topics.
improve your finances,
So I personally
wealth,
will
and
be
many,
sharing
many,
some of
many
my
other
latest
topics.
research, which
So I
shows how
personally
you can
will
actually
be
get
sharing
more
some of
done
my latest
in less
research,
time,
which
so
shows
that
how
you
you
can
have
actually
extra time
get more done
to do what
in
you
less
want to
time,
do, so
not
that you
just
have
what you
extra
have to
time
do.
to do
So
what you
very
want to do,
simple, very
not
powerful
just
tips
what
that
you have to do.
I
So
sharing
very
with
simple,
you
very
that I
powerful
actually
tips
use
that
as part of my
I
coaching.
sharing with you
many
that I actually
successful
use as part
business
of my
people
coaching
from all around the
with
world.
many
So I
successful
am really
business
honored
people from
and
all around the
can't
world.
wait to be part
So
of
I am
100 Days
really
Live
honored
with
and
Sonya.
can't wait
Please
to be part of
register
100 Days Live
in
with
details
Sonya
in the comments
Please
below. And
register
I can't wait
in
to see you
details
then.
in the comments
and we're
below.
going to have a lot of fun.
And
We're going to
I
learn
can't
stuff.
wait and
to
it's
see
going to
you
be
then.
amazing.
And we're going to have a lot of
100
fun.
days
We're going to learn
live
stuff.
with Sonya.
And it's
Register
going to be
now,
amazing.
and we
100
will
days.
see you
Live with Sonya.
there. Register
Bye.
now, and we will see you there. Bye.
Well, hello, friend. I'm so glad to let you know that I'll be sponsoring and speaking on the 100 Days Live Summit with Sonya. It's July 1st through October 9th, 100 days of success coaches, empowerment experts, entrepreneurs, marketing mentors. I'll be speaking on the lessons I learned from interviewing 200 creative practitioners all over the world, how to build their brands, how to stay resilient, how to make collaborations, and how to gain the confidence and connections to launch their work out into the world. You won't want to miss it. And of course, in addition to just my small talk, imagine 99 more experts every day for 100 days. So join me for 100 days live with Sonya. The link is in the notes. See you soon.